Unfriended Dark Web is the newest film from Blumhouse Tilt, and this movie is written and directed by Steven Susko. And of course, this is the sequel to the 2014 found footage film Unfriended. This film follows a group of friends, one of whom steals a laptop that has been in the lost and found bin at the coffee shop that he works at for weeks. And he, along with his group, quickly discover that the previous owner of said laptop is not only watching them, but also is involved in getting paid to commit some truly disturbing acts of violence. As far as found footage goes, I haven't really been shy over the years at expressing my dislike for this genre. I frequently take shots at movies that are supposedly the best that this genre has to offer. Not to say that this genre doesn't have some diamonds in the rough, but I wouldn't necessarily call Unfriended a diamond. Maybe something like, I don't know, Quartz. It's not really anything that you should run home about, but it is an enjoyable film, certainly better than whatever Paranormal Activity has to offer. So when I heard that this film was coming out, in fact, I didn't even know this movie was being made. I believe I saw the trailer before Upgrade, if I remember correctly. And considering that the first film made over $60 million at the box office off of a hilarious $1 million budget, why the hell not? Let's take another crack at it. And after watching this film, I think that this movie was able to take some ideas from the first film and was able to add some unique changes, but ultimately they aren't significant enough to differentiate itself from the first film. And in the long run, I don't see myself despising this movie and shaking my fist at it for wasting my time. But then again, I don't think that this movie adds that much that was introduced in the first film and something that will really make me remember this movie come my favorite movie at the end of the year. I will say that one of the highlights that this film has to offer is the inclusion of the dark web. This go around, this film takes much less of a supernatural approach, which I thought was much more compelling and gave our characters an opportunity to try to outsmart the predicament that they are in. This idea comes to fruition in a number of scenes in this movie, one of which involving a subway, which I think is a highlight of the film. However, there are some moments in this film, especially the way that this movie wraps up, that kind of just left me scratching my head. I think if you are wanting to take this film in a more realistic direction, then I think you should fully commit to that. Instead, there are a lot of moments throughout this film that I thought were incredibly improbable and felt like there was no way what was happening in the movie could actually happen. I also had issues with the way that this film looks. Like the first film, this movie takes place entirely on a laptop screen. That's primarily why this movie is as cheap as it is. But there were multiple times watching this film that the image on the screen, especially when there was text, was incredibly fuzzy. And I know it's not the theater because I've been to this theater multiple times and I've never had this issue. In fact, there were several times throughout the duration of this film that I had to take my glasses off and clean them because I thought they were dirty, but no, it was just the quality of the image. Also, if you were going into this movie expecting a horror film, I think you should probably adjust your expectations because this is much more of a thriller, and the scares that this movie has to offer, which are few and far between, are mostly jump scares. But I do think one of the strengths that this movie has is actually capturing the atmosphere of hopelessness. I started to feel with these characters and felt very unsure of what to do next because everything that they were trying seemed to be countered by the antagonists. But then again, I think that that is a testament to how improbable this movie is, because whatever these kids try to do, whatever it is, the villains are always one step ahead. They have planned out every single possibility that the situation could go in. So much so that it is almost bordering on paranormal, which does kind of squander the idea that this movie is supposed to take place in the real natural world. So this film kind of wastes an opportunity to offer something new, to where as a result, this film is not that dissimilar from the first movie, not only in terms of its plot, but also its execution and characters as well. And I think with Unfriended Dark Web, there are some elements, much like the first film, that you could enjoy. And I would say that if you enjoyed the first film, you'll probably like this movie as much, if not more. But because this movie is so similar in many different ways, I think that this film would have been more enjoyable, perhaps on the small screen, on Netflix, or maybe as a YouTube Red movie. So did you guys see Unfriended Dark Web? What did you think about it? Leave your thoughts and opinions down below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching today. I hope you liked today's video. And if you did, you can click on the link down below and subscribe to my channel to see more movie reviews and movie related things. I guess thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.